Hello everyone, I hope you are doing very well. My name is Atik. I am an aerospace engineer at the Boeing Company. So a few months ago in my YouTube channel, I made a video on how I get into the Boeing Company as an aerospace engineer and how was my overall journey to getting into Boeing. But after that, I got a lot of question in the comment box and also in my personal inbox that you people are very much interested to know what's the interview procedure of the Boeing, like what sort of questions, what types of thing you need to take preparation to appear at the Boeing interview. And I know being a Fortune 500 company, the Boeing Company, and also one of the LinkedIn ranked companies. So if you want to get into Boeing or take preparation for Boeing, you need to really have a solid foundation on it if you want to nail it. So my friend, today is one of your luckiest day, because in today's video, I'm going to discuss how you can prepare yourself in a proper way with a solid foundation to get into or to appear at the interview with the Boeing Company and get a huge success. So stick to my video. I'm going to discuss it with you soon. So my friend, today I'm going to discuss how the Boeing Company interview process works. As I said earlier, Fortune 500 companies and all the high-tech companies, their interview process are little bit different or somehow a huge degree difference compared to other small company or the no-name companies. So your interview preparation should also be different. For example, in our today's video, we'll be extensively focused on the Boeing Company interview process. No matter which major or which area you are applying for the Boeing Company applies the same interview method for almost all the candidates, and this interview method is popularly known as STAR method. And when I say STAR, you are right, STAR means the star in the sky. So if we look carefully, STAR, this word is formed of 4 alphabet: star, S for Sierra, T for Tango, A for Alpha, and R for Romeo. But in the STAR, this word, the 4 alphabet defines 4 different conditions. So S, it stands for situation. T, it stands for task. A stands for action. And R, it stands for result. So in this interview for the Boeing Company, no matter which major or which position you are applying for, the interviewer or the hiring manager will ask you a question and he or she will expect your result in this STAR format. That means when you're going to answer the question, you should introduce the situation, you should introduce the task, you should introduce your action, and of course at the end, and very important, you should introduce the result. So my friend, from my previous discussion, I believe that you have already got an idea how the STAR method interview works, and you already know if the interviewer or the hiring manager asks you a question, they expect that you will answer the question by introducing these 4 things: situation, task, action, and result. So for example, let's take an example, like the hiring manager is asking me a question, okay, tell us about a situation when you have to deal with a tough colleague at your workplace. How did you do this, and how did you maintain the professional relationship with your tough colleague, and what was the output? So when the interviewer or the hiring manager is asking you this question, he is expecting that once you are going to answer the question, you will introduce all these 4 things. Like you will tell a situation, first situation. So you will tell, okay, you are working for a bank like this, you had a very tough colleague, her name or his name was like that, he was doing or she was doing that sort of problem. Now you will tell them, okay, what was your task to solve this problem? You decided that, okay, I have to take this sort of work to solve this issue. Then action means, okay, you decided, okay, this amount of task you need to do, or these are the tasks that necessarily you need to do to solve this issue. Then thirdly, you will tell, okay, action, what was your action to implement all the tasks required to do. Now you will tell about your action, like you did this, you did this, you did this to solve the issue. And the 4th part is result. Okay, so this is the result based on all the tasks that I was planning to do and all the actions I took to resolve the issue. So that's how you can answer the question. Always remember, they are expecting your answer in the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. Okay, I know it's hard to visualize for you at the very beginning what is situation, task, action and result, but I can tell you I am going to share some information, or what I can say, I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you where I will have some demo problem or question and see how I am articulating the answer. If you follow this answer carefully, I believe that you will have a good understanding about the STAR method, which you can use and use successfully to nail your Boeing interview. Okay, my friend. So now with me, go back to the computer. I will share my screen with you and the PowerPoint also, and we will do some practice over there. And I would like to request you to follow this practice very carefully and try to understand. And if you have any problem understanding the concept or building the proper understanding about this STAR method, please drop a comment below and let me know. I will try to answer and clarify your confusion and the doubt. Okay, my friend, welcome back to the computer screen, and I hope that you are still now following me. So now we will show some demo question and show you how you can implement those for your Boeing interview for implementing the STAR method successfully. So I'm sharing a screen here, and I hope you are seeing my screen. And now go for the discussion. Okay, so let's take a question first. The question is, tell me, for example, the hiring manager is asking you, okay, tell me about a time when you had to meet multiple deadlines. What was the situation? What did you do? How did you handle this situation? And what was the result? So this is the question asked by the hiring manager. So after this question, when you're gonna answer the question, they will give you some time if you want. Okay, you can also use your pen, paper or pencil to write down your answer that you are going to deliver. They will give you time approximately 1 minute or 30 seconds, and when you are ready, you can say you are ready. So by this time you have to prepare your answer mentally, and also if you want to note down in your pen and paper, you can do so. So by this time you have to prepare yourself to answer this question. So once you're going to answer the question, you have to remember again situation, task, action and result. This is the STAR method. So let's give a demo answer for this question, how you can answer or address a question like this. And of course, this all answers are metaphor. This not happened in the real life, but just to give you an exposure to this, this answer is articulated here. And I'm sorry because this answer is articulated in shorthand. There is not so much space to write down. So let's see the answer. So they ask you that tell me about a time, or tell us about a time when you had to meet multiple deadlines. What was the situation? What did you do? And how did you handle this situation? And what was the result? So your answer should contain situation, task, action, and result. So situation. Now you are building a plot. What are the things that you are mentioning here? Okay, let's give them an example that you are doing your job for XXX bank. You are an early career accountant, and you also had a record section in your department. There was an in charge for the record section, and by this time when you joined, the in charge section the record section in charge, she was pregnant and she was planning to go for maternity leave. But however, she had some early complication, so she couldn't come to the office before her planned leave time. So she had to leave the office early. But during that time, the central bank was going to take an audit in your bank. So all the people were very busy. During that time, losing a manpower is a shock or bolt from the blue for the company. So during that time, what happened? Because the colleague had some early complication, so she started her maternity leave early. Now your manager was very worried because the central bank audit date is coming soon. So your manager said to me that, okay, take the action and also take the additional responsibility of the in charge of the record section who went for the maternity leave. Okay, now you found yourself that you are already exhausted with your work because the audit is coming So you are making all the documents helping your seniors to attend the audit. However, additionally, now you have other work exposed by your colleague who went for maternity leave and your manager requested to do this. Now you have to take the additional responsibility. At the same time, you found that you have also some other works. You are also participating in one of the company investigation and you are doing the investigation, making the investigation report. And also there is something going on in your personal life. Like when you are working for the bank, you are also taking preparation for going for your higher study in the USA. So you have to do the application process in a proper timeline and also make the statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, and many other things. So whole lot of things are going on in your life and you have a lot of things in your plate. So this was the situation. You described them, the situation. Now the second part is task. For task, what you need to do at that time. At a situation like this, when you have already worked a lot of things in your plate, but you got some additional work which you cannot say no. So in the task side, you can say, okay, what you need to do at a moment like this, I need to make a solid plan if I want to handle all these deadlines and complete them successfully. This is your task. Now to complete this task, just if you define the task, that doesn't mean the finishing of your assignment. You define your task. Now you need to take the action. So in the action phase, what you will do, you can say that you wrote down all the tasks in your diary and also note down their deadline. Now you arrange all the tasks based on their gravity or importance and also put the deadline beside them. Now you started chronologically complete the work and you also additionally avoided all unnecessary tasks or less important tasks, meeting or activities, both from your personal and professional life, because now you are in a tough situation. And by doing this, what you found, now your task is defined, your action is also done, you also describe the situation. Now the part is result. What you found at the end of one of the tough month, you found that besides your work, you are also successfully able to perform the work from your colleague who went for leave. You also completed her work and the audit conducted by the central bank was successfully completed. And when your colleague came to know that you also completed her part of the work in the audit, she gave you thanks over the phone when she was in the leave, and your manager also highly appreciated your all dedication and activities. So this is the result. So that is how you can answer a question like this based on situation, task, action, and result. So let's take an example for another question. So here the question is, how have you demonstrated leadership quality when you are not in a leadership role? Very tough question. Like they will give you 30 seconds or 1 minute to prepare your answer. Then you need to answer the question in again same STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. So for the situation, you will say that, for example, I can give an portrait a situation like, okay, I was a graduate student at University of North Dakota. As a graduate student, I need to take many courses with the undergraduate senior year students. So in one of the course like that, what I was enrolled, there was a group project, and for the group project, professor was assigning team. So because it was a senior year student course, and students are already divided based on their senior design project. So I had a team where there were 4 senior year students from my university. They already formed the group earlier because they were doing the senior year project together. But my professor, he assigned me with their team of these 4 members. And because these 4 guys were already doing their senior design project, they had already an assigned leader, and I was an additional member to their team. Okay, so when I joined with their team, our team became 5 members and we had a leader, and we started working together for the project. And our project was to build a metal matrix composite by find out a proper fiber for this composite material. Now just take it, it's a technically intensive question because you came from technical background, so you are trying to give answer to your hiring manager in a with a technical example. Okay, So those who are not from engineering background, I know it will be tough for you guys to understand or absorb this result, or absorb this question, absorb this answer of the question. I'm sorry about it. Question relevant to you will also come later. So you said that, okay, you had a project. As a part of this project, you have to find out the fiber for this metal composite, ice matrix composite. Now, what is your task? Your task, along with your team members, was to find out the appropriate fiber to reinforce this composite. Action. In the action part, you said that you already know that you are not a leader for this team. However, as an active member and as a graduate student of the team, so it is your responsibility to come out with a smart idea. And at the same time, I understood that it's not a matter whether I am leader or not. It's always my best to give the best output to my team. So what you started to do, you started to collect the all literature review to find out the best suited fiber for it. And you found out that paper can be a very good fiber when the matrix is ice, and you shared this idea with your team members. Your team members appreciated the idea, and you also recommend them the proper orientation of the paper as a fiber, like twisting it. And you said that from the literature review, you found that if you pre-stress the paper, it will give you the more strength of the composite. And your team member accepted it, and they try with all other fibers they have collected, and they finally found that your one is best. So they approved your fiber selection, though you are not the leader of the team. So now the result part. That was the action part. Now the result part. What result part happened? In the result part, when you are presenting your proposal or presenting your project to team members in the class, you found that your ice matrix composite was the best ice matrix composite in terms of strength. And professor said that your team is the best team in terms of this project. And he was very curious to know who was the project leader of the project. But even though there was already assigned project leader for your team, but no one was opening their mouth, because they know that your contribution was the most for this project, though you are not the project leader. And you also kept silent. Suddenly one of your member in your team who was team leader, he said that, okay, his name was, for example, K. He said that though I am the project leader of the project, but Mr. X, he has the most contribution for doing this project. So your project leader also acknowledging your contribution. So it's a very good harmonic environment. Professor got the message that you had a very good relation in your team, and all the members acknowledge that you have a good contribution for the team project. So that is how you can articulate the result for a question like this. So I have a suggestion for you here. Do not try to give any example which bring the negative impression about you. Always try to share your success story, because people love to hear those, and also people love to know how motivated, how encouraging person you are. So don't try to bring something like that people are not happy at your result, they abandoned your project or something like that. Okay, tell something positive, and tell something that which express your energy, which express your motivation for the work, which express your dedication for the work or the project. Okay, so let's see few other questions that we can also discuss. So for some other question, what some of the other question can be like? So some of the other question can be like, tell us about a time when you dealt with a tough colleague. What steps did you take? How did you manage professional environment with them? And what was the outcome? I already discussed about this question earlier. So just answer the question. Try to spend some time, build your answer, and answer the question in the format of star. Okay, situation, task, action, and result. Another question can be, tell us about a time when you faced conflict of interest in your workplace, and what did you do? Same, answer in a star method. One type of question might be, tell us about a time when you have to sacrifice your interest for the greater benefits of your team. If you think carefully, you'll find that there will be a lot of example in your life which you can incorporate here. Okay, but my suggestion, when you give the example, please say the truth. Do not try to articulate the story that you do not have. Because what happened, once you give the answer to them, there is another part, that is the follow-up part. For example, if there are 4 interviewer or the hiring manager in your interview, based on your answer, they will ask you follow-up question. Okay. In the follow-up question, if you make a story which you do not have preparation, you will be stuck and they will immediately understand that you are lying with them. What you should not do. Try to be honest, try to be transparent as much as you can. Okay. Because it's also define your honesty, and we are looking for the honest people only. Okay. Then some major specific or job specific question, like for example, if you come from engineering background, business background, economics background, or any other background, so Boeing employ people from all types of background and all sort of majors. So now I will give you some example which are related to specific major or job specific role. For example, like I'm an aircraft design engineer, means I'm an aerospace engineer. So if you want to apply for aerospace engineering job, some of the question might be like that. Tell us about a time when you are designing an aerospace product, but you didn't have enough resources to accomplish it. What was your approach to this challenge? How did you complete your assignment or project, and what was the outcome? So you can use the same STAR method to answer a question like this. Again, try to find out a situation that happened really in your life. Okay, that happened really in your life, and arrange the question answer in the STAR format, then give your answer, and based on your answer they might ask you some follow-up questions. Okay, so be prepared and ready for that. So these are the aerospace question. I also faced a question like that. So now I have another suggestion for you. Sometimes you might not have exactly the same thing that they are looking for, like they are looking for some aerospace product design experience. Now let's, for an example, you came from mechanical engineering background and you are applying for this. You didn't have any exposure to aerospace product. So what you will do, you will make a false story. No, don't do this. Just tell them, okay sir, I came from mechanical engineering background, because I don't have any aerospace background, but I can give you some example of designing mechanical product. Will you accept it? And of course they will say yes. Then give the example of designing mechanical product. Okay, that's how you can approach if you don't have exactly the same thing that they are looking for. Second type of question might come from the software engineering or computer related people or their background. The question might be, describe a moment when you have found a bug in the code you developed and you barely had any chance to get help from others in your workplace. How did you solve the issue and what was the output? If you apply from computer engineering or software engineering background, these types of question might be asked. So the third question, people coming from business or economics or accounting background, the question might be, okay, tell us a moment while you found out a huge discrepancy in the balance sheet you are looking at and you don't know who will be the right person to talk and solve this issue. How did you handle this issue and what was the outcome of your effort? So you might face question like this if you are coming from business, economics, or accounting or other finance background. Okay, so get ready for it. So now I believe that you got the idea of not only what is the STAR method, but also find out the way how you can articulate or architecture your answer and deliver it to the hiring manager properly. So my friend, if you follow my video or the presentation throughout this time very carefully, I'm expecting that you should have a very good idea of a STAR method and how to answer or deal with those questions. Okay, so and I want to share one more important information with you. In many cases, for a company like Boeing or many other Fortune 500 or high-tech companies, their interviews are in multiple stages. Sometimes there are some called HR interviews. HR interviews are very straightforward. They usually give you a phone call or video call and they will try to chit chat with you and they will check mainly that you are the right person, like as mentioned in the resume or the CV or resume. Okay, so they will just check that you are the right person. They will ask you some question about your like working experience or why did you graduated, when you are planning to graduate, a very normal question. Okay, they will just check that you are the right person, what is mentioned in the resume, and they reach to the right person. They are going to interview the right person, and because the HR do not want that, they do not want to waste any time from the hiring manager. Hiring manager is a very busy person who will be actually your boss. So they want to only forward the resume or the genuine candidate to the hiring manager. So this is just initial screening interviews. But the star method question, this will be asked in your main interview, which will be held with the hiring manager, who is going to be your boss of your section once you join the Boeing company or any other company that you are applying for. So in today's video, I mainly focused on the main interview, which is the hiring manager interview, which usually take place in the star method. But I want to assure you that if your interview is conducted by the if your interview is a multiple stages interview, and in some of the stages, if you, or in the very beginning, if you have to face the HR interview, don't be get panic for it. Interview is most of the time not in the star method. It will be just normal question. But even though I would suggest you to take some preparation on the star method, accidentally or coincidentally, if they ask you the question and expect to get the answer in the star method. But hiring manager interview for the Boeing company, it's always in the star method, and they always expect you to answer in the based on the situation, task, action and result. These four components, okay, these four components they always look for. So my friend, I hope that if you are listening to my video, this long video carefully and seeing all the example, I hope that you have a good idea of star method by this time. And I believe that if you implement those strategy and the tips that I have suggested properly, you can nail the interview. And my well wishes and good luck is always for you. However, if you have any question which I didn't introduce in my video or I forgot to do so, I beg apology for it. Don't forget to put a comment below in the comment box so that I can answer and clarify your question. And if you want to see anything about or relevant video in future like that, just let me know in the comment box. I will try to manage my time and post video on this. I wish you all the best and good luck. And if you are applying for the Boeing, if you are going to appear in the Boeing interview in the upcoming few days, my well wishes and good luck for you. I cannot wait to have you as my colleague. So my friend, have a nice rest of the day. I wish you all the best and good luck.